Imagine a 100-year-old giant trying to swap its heavy hiking boots for high-tech jetpacks while crossing a minefield. That is Hasbro in 2025. Today, we're peeling back the glossy packaging of the world's most iconic toy company to see if they're actually building a digital empire, or if they're just playing a very expensive game of hide the debt. Welcome to the HDIN Research Deep Dive. Let's start with a wow moment. You see that $1 billion number? That's not a profit goal. That's a hole in the pocket the size of a crater. In 2025, Hasbro admitted that a huge chunk of their old-school toy business just isn't worth what they thought it was. It's like realizing that vintage collection in your attic is actually covered in mold. This isn't just a rounding error. It's a structural wake-up call that the old way of selling plastic is bleeding cash. But wait, it's not all doom and gloom. While the toy aisles are looking thin, the digital world is on fire. Their Wizards of the Coast division didn't just grow, it sprinted at 44%. Think of it this way. Hasbro is slowly realizing that selling imagination and pixels is way more profitable than shipping heavy boxes of plastic. They've already trimmed the fat to the tune of $800 million. They're essentially performing open-heart surgery on themselves while running a marathon. Check out this divergence. It's a tale of two companies. On one side, you have the cool tech kid, Wizards of the Coast, bringing in nearly 50 cents of profit for every dollar they earn. On the other side, you have the legacy relative consumer products, which is shrinking. If Hasbro was a ship, the digital engine is currently the only reason the whole vessel hasn't hit the seafloor. Now let's talk about the tariff tax. Every time a politician mentions trade wars, Hasbro's wallet gets lighter. They paid $45 million in tariffs last year alone. To survive, they are moving their factories out of China and into Vietnam and India. It's a massive, expensive game of geopolitical Tetris to keep their prices from skyrocketing at your local Target. Hasbro isn't just letting others play with their toys, they're building the playground. With 4 in-house gaming studios and a $386 million R&D budget, they're betting the house on becoming the Nintendo of the West. From Baldur's Gate 3 to Monopoly Go, they've proven that their characters are worth billions if they live inside your smartphone instead of under your bed. Here's the elephant in the room. Hasbro is carrying $3.2 billion in debt. Every year, they pay $163 million just in interest. That's enough to buy every single person in a mid-sized city a premium Lego set, every year, for nothing. This debt is the friction holding them back. They're like a star athlete trying to break a record while wearing a 50-pound weighted vest. Is AI just a buzzword here? Not quite. Hasbro is using AI to shrink the time it takes to design a toy from months to weeks. They're using it to predict exactly how many Optimus Prime figures to ship so they don't end up in a clearance bin. It's about being smart to win, not just big to win. In today's market, how you make money matters as much as how much. Hasbro has been at the top of the ethics charts for 30 years. They have a diverse leadership team that's actually making the hard calls. In a world of corporate scandals, Hasbro is the good boy of the S&P 500, which keeps the big institutional investors happy. The biggest secret in the toy industry? Adults are the new kids. These Kidults don't care about the price tag. They want high-end collectibles and nostalgia. Hasbro's secret lair drops are basically Supreme-style releases for nerds, and the margins are insane. Who knew that 35-year-olds with credit cards would be the company's ultimate saviors? Looking ahead to 2026, there's a potential $45 million tax refund coming from a Supreme Court ruling. It's like finding a $100 bill in your winter coat, except with a lot more zeros. They're also pouring $250 million into digital infrastructure. They aren't just fixing the roof, they're building a new skyscraper on top of the old house. The plan is clear. 2025 was for cleaning the house. 2026 is for efficiency. By 2027, when their big video games like Exodus launch, Hasbro hopes to be a completely different animal. This is a 5-year transformation, and we are currently in the most painful, but most important, middle chapter. So what's the verdict? Hasbro is a crown jewel, Wizards of the Coast, trapped inside a restructuring project. If they execute the digital pivot, the stock gets re-rated as a tech giant. If they stumble on the debt or the gaming launches, it's another round of write-offs. It's a high-risk, high-reward play that requires nerves of steel. The bottom line? Hasbro is clearing the ghosts of the past to build the digital titans of the future. The pivot is real, but the debt is the gravity they have to fight every single day. The game isn't over, it's just moving to a higher level. If you want the full, data-heavy report behind this analysis, head over to HDIN Research. We do the digging so you can make the decisions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay ahead of the market. See you in the next deep dive.